Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of First and Last. My name is Josh, and with me this week, we have Jeff.
Hey everyone.
You're back.
I am back.
Welcome, sir.
I never thought I'd come back.
We never thought we were going to invite you back.
Well, I figured you'd invite me, but it's like, I feel like I could have peaked at that second one. But
What was number 2? It's episode 2. So remember Step by Step, I think
it was
was
another
the first
80s.
It was Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World. Oh, duh.
Mm-hmm.
So 90s.
So
now we're going into
also
2000s.
I'm Jimmy.
That's Jimmy, by the way.
I'm Jimmy. I skipped that part.
I'm glad I got introduced before you.
It's literally
He's
just
going
it's
counterclockwise.
just room order.
Oh.
I always say Joe first, and he always sits in that chair. So.
I figured it was like introducing the guest before
This week,
Fallon introduces the roots.
Pitch
You know what I mean?
hitting for... I like that. I appreciate that reference.
You just called Jimmy the Roots, and he loves it.
Well,
By the way, they're like getting like sued for like a couple $100,000 for when they were here for the Super Bowl last year because they got some sort of like rebate thing that's not technically supposed to go to talk shows, but they got in a loophole that they're a variety show.
Oh, you're saying like the Tonight Show
The
is?
Tonight Show
Not
got a
like
bunch of money from
I
Minneapolis.
thought the roots, and
I
I'm
was
like,
like, what did they do?
Oh no, the roots probably.
They
seem like
they're not gonna
misusing-
see a dime
they're
of that
misusing
money.
coupons?
and they seem like nice guys, They seem like okay guys.
bunch of nice guys.
Yeah.
Bunch of nice,
Bunch of wise fellas.
nice boys.
You have to say
They're the
that 'cause
mafia.
they're probably listening.
I hope that Questlove listens to our podcast.
Huge fan.
Tweeted us.
He's a huge fan of our podcast, is what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's of course that's what I
Exactly.
meant.
You are a guest and you've been here once or twice, but do you know how this podcast works, Jeff?
If I remember correctly, we watched the 2 most middle episodes of a TV show. So it's literally like the letters M and N in the series, just right in the middle, and be like, then we have to guess what happened in the first episode.
What is that, the median?
Yeah, exactly. No, we watched the first episode of a television series, and then we make predictions, and we talk about it, and discuss common characters and occurrences, and what do we think is going to happen. And then we go and watch the series finale, and then we talk about how wrong our predictions truly were.
They're never right.
They aren't.
That was the best description of this podcast ever. Joe's fired.
Joe's getting lazy.
We're actually just gonna play that.
I was gonna say, I know you don't edit much, but if you can edit that part where I keep touching the cord, which I think is messing up.
You're fine. You're fine. Hey,
I'm just gonna
here's the
put
deal.
the water bottle down.
You don't have to listen to it. These suckers
That's right.
Listeners.
on the other side of my lips.
The thing is, if they heard my voice and haven't turned off already, they're like, "Oh, not this guy again."
Oh,
then
Jeff.
they can.
He doesn't know anything about Boy Meets World.
Well, they're keeping it on. You must be doing something for them.
Yeah, that's good.
Sweet.
So what 80s to early 90s sitcom are we doing? Are you bringing
I feel
us
like I'm
today,
graduating up the decades, right?
Oh, all right.
By the
Sure.
time I get to 2020,
Ooh.
that's when I'll be.
You better hope there's a
retiring.
new show that starts in 2020 and ends in 2020, or else it's going to be a long time before
feel
you
like
get on this show.
I feel like there's plenty of one and dones
Oh
that you
my
guys have not
gosh.
started. I feel like there
More
should be like a
shows
good
start
like
and end.
stretch of just one season wonders,
Yeah, just like the greatest hits,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
probably the worst ones because they only went season.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
we'll
some
never
good ones.
run
out
I
of
mean, like Freaks and
material.
Geeks did one season.
Firefly did one
Yeah, that's
season.
so weird.
See, and you guys did that one.
There's a little show called The Sampsons.
No, we
Only
haven't done
one
Firefly,
season.
have we?
No.
We haven't done Firefly yet. Some crazy how.
It's-
Felicity.
Felicity.
Yeah, it
Ugh.
starts with an F. It starts with an F.
Don't even
Yuck.
compare those two.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Does
gosh.
Firefly have time travel?
No.
Not how Endgame works, though.
Anyway. Man, have you guys seen the new Spider-Man yet?
Yes.
No,
Can't believe I haven't seen the new Spider-Man yet.
I have.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's pretty good.
I
I
like
feel like
that.
I'm guessing he shoots a web. Probably talks to a
Spider-Man.
girl.
No, Spider-Man goes back in time and re-kills
What?
Thanos.
Web
Just
As a
to,
baby?
well, to prove he's Iron Man. You know.
Prove he's the new Iron Man.
He's like, I'm the new Iron Man. I'll go fucking kill Thanos.
Yeah.
And he goes back, webs him in the eyes, rips out his tongue.
Says hi to Robert Downey
It's like
Jr.
one of the goriest Marvel superhero movies.
That's good,
so
though.
far. Yeah,
Hmm,
it's pretty
It
crazy.
fits well with the
Also,
Spider-Man
the
motif.
lizard's there. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
Ooh.
the villain's name, just the lizard.
Yeah.
I've gotten really lazy
That is an actual Spider-Man villain.
That's
you know,
all.
I thought
all
it
of the
was-
original Spider-Mans are like Scorpion.
The name's not the lizard.
right?
Rhino.
The lizard. He's
That's-
Doctor.
He's the good bad guy.
He's the guy. He's the Jekyll Hyde. He's Dr. Connors by day, but then he
Yeah.
turns into
He
a
lost an
giant
arm.
lizard called
No,
the
I-
Lizard.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
his name.
God.
All of the Spider-Man names are just animals, except for Green Goblin.
I mean, there's a Batman villain
and also
who's called Man Bat. So
that's a
True.
good point.
It's true. And Polka Dot Man.
yeah.
Ugh, old DC villains are the worst named things.
But
So we're doing TV shows.
anyways,
Hey, welcome back.
welcome to First and Last, your first stop for Marvel and DC fanboys.
Well,
If
at
I
least
had my
Marvel
way.
fanboy.
If I had my way, I'm gonna branch off. We're gonna do a spin-off to a Marvel podcast pretty soon here.
I mean, I've seen it.
Like and subscribe.
Seen it, cover it.
So Jeff, what show are we doing today?
We are doing the show called Extras. I believe it was on the BBC originally. Stars one of Ricky Gervais's earliest shows. I know you guys have done the UK version of The Office.
Of course. The
And I
OG.
think that's the only Ricky Gervais show that you've done. So I kind of recommended doing Extras.
And we graciously accepted.
Yeah.
With
Basically.
no better ideas. Accepted your offer, sir.
Man, I should have just thrown it like Teletubbies and just made you guys
Just
actually that'd be very entertaining. Be like, let me just down 4 of these beers. Watch the first step.
just get really drunk and watch the Teletubbies. That sounds like my nightmare.
Just get really drunk on beer. First episode. Then it drink 12 White Claws
To hydrate.
to hydrate.
But that's weird. No, so Ricky Gervais, I feel like the only actual show I've seen him in is The Office, and that even includes his cameo as his same character in the U.S. Office.
Have you seen
I've
his
seen him in like.
cameo in the Japanese Office?
Excuse me.
No, I don't know if that's true.
I
Well,
hope
they did
it's
like
true.
an SNL, did like a Japanese or Chinese office. It's just, yeah.
Oh yes, that I have seen that.
He actually
think he's a
plays
very funny
the boss
man.
in the Korean Office.
But what I assume is that he's just very kind of crude and weird and just makes everybody uncomfortable, and that's the humor that his character always is in everything. Is that
Have you seen any of his
am I on
like
base with
stand up?
that? I don't think I have.
Or
seen
just
his
his like
stand-up.
Golden Globes ribbing? Was that the Golden
I've
Globes?
seen him like
Yeah.
on like plenty of talk shows and stuff where he's obviously not a character. He's very funny.
He definitely has a certain type of humor that I feel like you either love or hate, which I feel like that's probably most comedians. But
Sure.
I think this one in particular, I think he's not afraid to kind of go over the top.
Yeah.
And again, I think this is an older show too, so
What's older? What year?
I
is
want to
this?
say
It's not that old.
mid 2000s.
Yeah, so show went from July 2005 to December 2007. So it
That's-
ended about 12 years ago.
I mean, so that's
Right.
I mean, it's over 10. But that's kind of Ricky Gervais's deal. I just found that out recently. Like he only does 2 seasons of a show and stops. So I thought the UK Office was
Oh.
like canceled
Yeah.
after 2. Like that's like his deal. He doesn't want to apparently get tied down
He
to a
doesn't
show.
want to.
So
He doesn't want to be in Supernatural,
super
which is gone for
interesting.
15 seasons. He
so
doesn't
yeah,
want to have a constant paycheck.
yep, that's it.
He's
What's
so
his
rich, it
other
doesn't
big
matter anymore.
one? His other show that I think was that BBC?
I think everything's been BBC except I was just talking to Jimmy.
You just had that
earlier.
Netflix show.
Yeah, he just released a show on Netflix last year
yeah.
What was it called?
Afterlife.
Afterlife.
That's what I'm thinking of.
And that's like pretty dark humor, but it's like, so the reason I said Extras is because it was on my list of to watch because I watched, The Office, but then watched the show Derek, which is I think
Oh,
like
yeah, I've heard of it.
2016, something like
Oh, yeah.
2015.
Oh, Derek is what I was thinking of.
And that was really good.
Was it? I've always just seen like the picture and like a trailer of it, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was pretty iffy, but I don't know. It's actually kind of more like heartfelt. Like it's funny, but he does a good job.
I feel like Ricky Gervais, in a way, probably has his like finger on the pulse of like Frasier humor, in a way, where he's very funny, but he's more like obtrusive funny than like a sitcom would be.
Yeah.
Or like over the top, but he's really funny and can hit that like we're gonna be serious right now,
Well,
and then we're gonna have a joke in the middle of the serious thing to like.
Well, what's
kinda break it
interesting
up.
is at least in Derek, so he plays, just someone I think with just kind of just like mental handicap, things like that. But what's funny is like some of the funniest parts aren't really him; it's like the other side characters. But since he's like written it all, it's still like his type of humor. But again, it's really heartfelt. And then even like the show Afterlife, if you haven't heard of it, but it's like the premise of like this guy, like his wife died of cancer, and so it's just him dealing with after effects.
Happy story.
Yeah, and he literally just like does not give a shit about anything. But you know, he starts to learn whatever. But so I feel like Extras though is going to be completely different than that, just because of how much older it is.
It's kind of like
And again, you never know with BBC. Like I just feel like sometimes British humor is just
Yeah.
I'm usually very happy with British humor that I
me
come
too.
across in TV.
yeah.
It was only 2 seasons and it was 13 episodes, and it
Classic 2 seasons. And it's right after. That would have been right when the UK office finished.
he was ready to go.
In fact, I think the Christmas episodes are after when this would have started.
Well, that's what he does, like 2 seasons and then like a special.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because like the last episode, I mean whatever, you're gonna know it ends in the Christmas special, which is what The
Okay.
Office did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came back. It
So-
had that like long,
Which is so
So what he does, he
good
usually does
in The
like 2
Office.
seasons that are like
And a
30
Christmas special.
minutes each, and then does like a quote unquote season 3, but it's like an hour and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
But-
And then he comes back every like 5 years and does a David Brent like return of David Brent special.
right.
Or like
I think he-
online short.
I think he did like a movie.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that was a
gonna
movie.
look
He was like he is like trying to do music. Like
Yeah.
He was in
David Brent's trying to
Spaced.
do.
Have you guys seen Spaced?
He's in
He's in one episode. of
Stardust.
Spaced.
Have you ever seen Stardust?
Ziggy Stardust?
No, just Stardust.
No.
With
There's apparently a 2016 David Brent Life on the Road.
yeah, that's the movie.
That's what
That's
we're talking
the
about.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this show's about extras working in television and film.
Ah,
That's it?
sure.
What's going to happen in the first episode?
He's gonna play a zombie on the side of, because I feel like 2005 you said, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that was around
Shaun of the Dead.
when we're starting to see some, like Shaun of the
28
Dead
days later.
and like a lot of zombie stuff. Starting to
Okay, so
starting
he's
to, starting
he's
to hit.
in a zombie film as an extra
Yeah.
in this one. I kind of want him to be, because I think it's going to be like, he goes to be an extra somewhere, and it may be the first, like it starts off like in the film on the film set or whatever. I want him to be like
You think he's already an extra?
in and off. Yeah, I think it's like he's on the job
Okay.
doing it, but maybe it's like his first day on this shoot kind of thing. So that's how they start it, and then he makes a new friend, and that's how the show keeps going. Maybe, but I want him to be an extra in an Office show.
That'd be good.
Like it just looks like The Office, but
That'd
he's
be-
like somebody
that'd be
just at a
very
desk
funny.
in the background or something.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like this is kind of in my,
Something
so I
meta.
kind of know a little about just the show in general.
How right am
So
I?
apparently, what?
How right am I? Super.
You're pretty
okay.
close. You're pretty close. I
good.
mean, he
Spoil
so
it. Don't
I
spoil
mean
it.
that's the
Don't
premise
spoil
of the
it.
show is like he's just an extra, like you said.
Yeah.
So, but I know they bring back like pretty big like celebrities that play.
Oh, that's fun.
Keanu Reeves is in this. Keanu Reeves is
He
in
might.
this.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know who like the first one is, but they
Speed?
play like
Is Jeff Daniels
an
in it?
exaggerated person of themselves. So who's like a big
Okay.
celebrity in 05?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, so maybe
Do you
Tom
think
Cruise.
there's already
Because
a
he's been a
celebrity
big
in F1?
celebrity literally since the day I've been born.
But it'd be really
I
funny if
think
like.
Mark Wahlberg is gonna.
But I think it's
definitely
funny
an
when like
entourage.
celebrities like when they play quote unquote themselves. I feel like they always end up being like over the top like
douchebags.
jerks. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
For sure.
So I'm kind of excited to watch because I think he just has a dry sense of humor. So I'm sure he just gets in very uncomfortable situations on the set.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I think it's gonna be. I think at the start of this, he's not going to be an extra yet. I think he's going to be, maybe he's been an extra before, but he's going to be like trying to become an extra on something. And I want to say Sir Christopher Lee is he still alive then? Yeah, for sure. Because like the Harry Potter movies are still coming out. Not Harry Potter. Lord of the Rings.
I knew the answer, and I wanted him to figure it out himself.
A Wicker Man.
I feel like he's going to be the kind of extra that continually tries to give like his resume to like the main person.
Oh, for sure.
And just
bothering
makes a complete ass
head
out of himself.
actor.
Yeah, just...
Remember so before we get to the
Getting kicked out of
let's,
movies.
we need to get to this this first episode here quick. But remember when Always Sunny and D was an extra?
Yeah, just like the zombie, or is it a zombie movie?
Yeah, it was a
Oh
zombie
my
movie.
gosh.
But just like you said, like she was like, I think maybe I should be over here and like do this and kind of thing. And like I think those annoying like little tweaks
the
to
M.
like,
Night Shyamalan
like
one.
for the conduct. I could see
It was Bruce Willis the whole
I
time.
could see like Ricky's character being like, do you really think that I should be standing here? Maybe it'd be better like over here.
Yeah.
And like just do what you're told.
Obama, baby.
So
Have you guys seen the
What?
Key and
what was that?
Peele extras one, where Keegan-Michael Key is a zombie extra, and he's been like trying to get as like a featured zombie. You get like paid more if you like get in the shot and like say brah, and or whatever, and they like
$2,000
and
line
it's
there.
Jordan Peele's like first day, and they like have him do it, even though this guy's been like waiting forever. But each time he goes up to like this fence, like and the main character's on the other side is like a little Tom Cruise kind of guy, and he says just the weirdest like actual words. And at one point he says Obama baby, and they cut after everyone because of something else. But Keegan-Michael Key is freaking out, like, this guy's over here saying words. Zombies cannot say words. Like, put me in there. It's great.
It's a great rundown
Should
of the
watch-
show that we're not watching.
You should watch Extras, this show we're about to watch.
And we will see you after the first episode of Extras.
Show me extras.
Called Read All About It. I don't know what it's
Extra.
called. I looked it up.
Extra.
Sometimes I make
Nice.
up titles because I do them better.
You don't just like the pilot?
It's called
Should
The
we get into
Zombie
that?
Apocalypse.
Should we get into that?
And Jimmy wins.
You know how
All
to
the
push my
points.
buttons, Jeff. We'll see you after the first episode. And we're done with the pilot episode of
Benjamin
Extras.
Stiller.
It's called Benjamin Stiller. Its official name. Benjamin J. Stiller.
And if you're a fan of Ben Stiller, this episode is just exactly, I think, what you would think it would be with Ricky Gervais and Ben Stiller.
What's funny is I feel like there's been, I can't obviously put like an actual name, but I feel like there's been a few things Ben Stiller's played quote unquote himself in.
Mm-hmm.
And he always plays like just this jerk. Like it's really like, so in this episode, he just name drops all of his movies and how much it's made like opening weekend.
Yeah.
There's
All the
really-
ladies he's kissed in those movies.
Yep.
It was great.
It was
Yeah,
pretty good.
it was classic Ben Stiller. It was exactly what you'd expect.
I
It was
thought
very funny.
It was a good episode of TV. It is a pretty exactly what like seeing Ricky Gervais stand-ups. I go, yeah, this is Ricky Gervais comedy right here.
Yep.
For sure. It was good. Not a good person. That the person he plays. Do you get to write it for us?
I
Jimmy?
feel like, yeah, I do. I feel like he is David Brent as an extra, is what I feel like right now. Currently. We'll see.
We
how this
shall.
finale- Okay,
We shall
Ben
see.
Stiller. Season 1 episode of Extras. Andy and Maggie are both extras in a serious genocide movie being shot by Ben Stiller in England. However, Andy isn't satisfied with his minuscule role and so goes to the genocide witness, Garan, to try to get himself a bigger part.
Is it bad that I didn't bother to know what that guy's name was?
Never heard it said.
Oh, that
Not
was it?
important.
Was
Is
that
that
it?
just the
That
synopsis?
was it.
Yeah,
I thought
it's a very short write-up.
I was like, that's
Yeah.
the first like 5 minutes of the episode.
I thought I interrupted him and then he was waiting for me to stop talking, but he was
No,
finished.
that was just it.
Yeah. There you go.
So there's definitely more that happened. I mean, it's a decent synopsis.
So there's two main characters, would be Andy and Maggie.
Yeah.
It seems. They're both extras slash wannabe actors.
Seems like they're going to be the mainstays.
Yep. Maggie meets some dude in like the accounting department on the film.
Yeah, they made a couple comments, so I feel like her dating life could be like an ongoing joke in this. I mean, he even comments about how shallow she can be, and leads to what Josh was about to say. So
she goes out. She goes out with one of the guys.
So she goes out with one of these guys. Sorry, Josh. Just go ahead.
And then,
Did you have something to say?
I don't know, Jeff. Do I have something to say? But actually, so they get invited to like a friend's party, and that accounting guy was gonna go, and so then Maggie talks to him, and then she's gonna go home with him, but finds out he has one leg that's shorter than the other. Ricky Gervais makes fun of him, says that you can go to like Switzerland, but all you can do is get a big shoe.
Yeah, you can get like any organ replaced that you want, but if one leg's shorter than the other,
all you get is a big shoe.
Just gonna get a big shoe. Yeah. So they, what
I was gonna say, and sure enough, it's kind of funny because I think he calls her out on being shallow. He goes, "You'll never date this person. You're too shallow."
Yeah,
and she goes, "I'm not shallow." So sure enough, he comes and asks her to leave, and she's like, "I can't." And then he just puts this large shoe on the table, and she ends up just saying "Herman Monster." Just pretty entertaining.
Herman Monster. It's okay. So but Ricky Gervais does it, or Andy, right? His character. Yeah. He does it in a way that like, does he like Maggie? And that's why he's like trying to, because earlier they run into the dude in the cafeteria, and he's like, Andy's kind of poking fun at Big Shoe. I don't know his name. I should learn his name.
He's not going to be in the last episode. I think you're fine.
No, absolutely not. But I shouldn't call a person Big Shoe.
Well, that's, I think,
that was
official
what
IMDb.
That's what character he played. That's the character he played.
But also, so leading up to like the Maggie being shallow and stuff, really the both of them, is that they're like sitting there talking about this woman is like gonna invite them to this party that neither of them want to go to originally. She must be someone for like on the film crew, on the set, who's important, because then they're trying to talk about excuses to get out of it, and then Maggie fumbles when the lady actually comes up and asks, and so she has to go because she has no valid excuse, and Andy comes up with an excuse, but then finds out that like this lady's actually must be pretty important because the like other big like producer of the film is gonna be there, so she's like, oh yeah, I'm going. All of a sudden. So you can go try to hobnob, which is classic David Brent.
I was going to say, I think this show emphasizes just kind of the humor that Ricky Gervais has. And I could see it maybe not being for everyone, but it's like, because it's subtle jokes and it's not like huge like belly laughs. Because I mean, he talks about how he's lying to this person who's inviting him to the birthday party. He's like, oh, my sister's ill. You got to find out. Oh, when is it? Oh, that weekend? No, my sister's here. You know, things like that.
Yeah. He was using her to like get all the excuses that she could get over out of the way. So then when she failed, he could be like, yep.
Yeah.
Well, I've got it airtight now.
Well, and then even at the party, then he's trying to talk to producer because he's trying to get a bigger role. Like, I think that's going to be a reoccurring theme is him trying to get into a speaking part or, you know, into the movie, whatever. But I mean, he even made a joke of
big time.
You know, they made a comment about her being shallow, things like that. And then I think Andy was like, I like all people, you know, white, black, yellow, whatever. And the person talking to the producer, I think she was Japanese. Mm-hmm. And she was just like, who's yellow? And it was just like that awkward silence. Just, it was so. Yeah, so if you're offended by literally just me saying what the joke was, maybe this show's not for you.
I don't think there was a single thing that like Andy did in the episode that wasn't essentially him attempting to like get ahead or him making fun of somebody. Like he wasn't a good person, and he's really funny, but nothing he did it was all like self-serving.
I mean, okay, but at the very end, and I think this also ties in with him liking Maggie, he backs up Maggie and is like, calls Ben Stiller a nerd, which I thought was hilarious because he gets up in Maggie's face and is like, who are you? Like, did you make Meet the Fockers? And then Andy's like, come on, man. She was just like, and he's like, who are you? And he's like, nobody. Like, yeah, you're right. And they called him a nerd.
He just said nobody because he didn't want Ben Stiller to know what his name was.
Yeah. Well, also true. But he must have known at that point. He's talking back to the director. He's not going to get...
No.
He's getting kicked out of here, which is not for himself.
He did a good thing for...
He had a line.
So he wants to do everything for himself, get ahead, make fun of everybody else, but... He also wants that also will do good things for Maggie, potentially. Oh. So that's him as a person. This is important to build this personality description right now. Maybe for one of my predictions. So I'm just...
That's what's happening. Yeah. Okay.
Tossing that softball up.
Are you going to...
just let you know.
Well, I'll say mine first. One of my predictions is he starts hitting Maggie. Boom. That's my prediction. No one else can have it.
Dang it. Wait a minute.
But Maggie and Andy are together. I wrote that down.
No, I called it first.
Well, that's my 5th one anyway. So good thing I got 12 more. I'm winning this round.
I think what I like about what this show has potential for is, again, the fact that they bring in actual actors and I'm sure actresses that play themselves, and I think that can be really funny when people play themselves. Like, obviously I don't think Ben Stiller is like that. I don't think he name drops all of his movies.
He wasn't using a script. They were just like, Ben Stiller, go hang out right here. It was like, along came Polly, double that, Meet the Fockers.
Yeah, I mean, it was really one of the part I found was funny was so he's talking to this survivor of whatever tragedy,
this genocide.
Yeah, this genocide.
Eastern European. Yeah. Europa.
Eastern Europa.
Yeah. Copa de Europa. Yeah. But he's talking to this survivor and he's like, what can I do? The reason I'm making this film, what can I do? Put in a DVD of Dodgeball? Yeah. That makes him laugh for a good 1 hour and 36 minutes. Good. But when it's done, what do? Can I put it in again? Yeah, I can put it in again and make him laugh. Can I put it in 6, 7 more times?
You'll see things you didn't see before. It's layered. It was made like that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It was just really funny. But he's like, yeah, I can just make
Ben Stiller definitely was a good get for this first episode. He fit perfectly into that humor.
Part of me wishes he'd name dropped Heavyweights, which I think is
one of his
best roles.
Heavyweights has one of I've literally talked about this in the podcast already, for sure, 50 episodes ago or whatever. But Heavyweights has the best scene in Ben Stiller's career, and that's when he's right at the end when he climbs in from the window and he was like, oh, you're gonna take over the camp, are you? And then he jumps down and then smashes glass on the ground and just steps on it because he's not wearing any shoes. This is after he's backflipped out of the rafters.
Yeah. Oh, I know the movie.
I don't remember us talking about this at all.
Oh, I've talked about this.
Continue.
For sure. And he's just walking on broken glass and he's like, I am God. Oh, and he's all mad. He's hurting himself obviously, but he's pretending like he's invincible. It's so funny.
Just one last Heavyweights, but yeah, when he drops the line of lunch has been canceled due to lack of hustle, deal with it. It's just really
That's good.
Yeah,
but
it's good.
Everybody go pause the podcast, watch Heavyweights,
then come back.
Then pause again, go and watch Dodgeball because I feel like that's also the same character.
It is, but it's
except and then
the Heavyweights character.
It really is because it comes through to the end where he is just fat on the couch eating ice cream at the very end.
Yeah, maybe it
comes full circle.
Prequel.
Well, he's not fat in Heavyweights.
No, but he's fat at the end of Dodgeball. But maybe that's the full circle that's he was a fat kid and that's why he made this fat camp.
His insides.
Listeners, tweet at us if you think that
outsides.
Dodgeball.
It's the writer of Dodgeball is finally someone gets it. But
is it Ben Stiller? I would not be surprised.
Back to extras.
Don't try to keep us on track. Guess.
See, this is what happens. You let me.
I pretty recently watched the Ben Stiller episode of Friends, where he kind of himself and he's a douche.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually maybe it's this character.
And then later his wife is in it and she's a lesbian with. Oh no, she dates Ross.
Shaves her head.
Second. And then she shaves her head.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
End of season 3.
Man, why are you ruining a random episode in Friends for me?
That he's never going to
Dang
watch
it.
because it's not the first or the last.
That's right. Should we do
I have-
predictions?
Yeah.
All right.
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah, you can.
Rule 1 that
Oh, yeah.
Ricky Gervais character Andy states that rule 1 is don't go out with a man whose wife has been murdered.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't possibly live up. Their love was at their peak, and then she's been taken away. You can't possibly
It's got to be true.
live up to the wife.
in a way.
I mean, he was saying it again. I feel like he was saying it in the way that
Unless-
like, don't go out with anyone that's not me, but also that's got to be
That's literally sound advice, I'd think.
like know that this is gonna be tough.
That was sound advice. Unless
Okay,
he
prediction
murdered his wife, then it's fine.
Oh, Ted Bundy.
My number 1, Andy doesn't grow or change as a person. It's a little subjective,
I feel like that's
but I think
Okay, interesting.
we've created a profile.
Like as in characteristics or just size?
Yeah, size. I'll go size.
Mass.
I'll go size.
Just mass.
I feel like I'm gonna get more points for size.
Like he doesn't gain an extra pound. Maybe
No.
that's why it's called extras. Oh my god.
like,
We're
no.
onto something.
like Mr. Rogers. He was always 143 pounds.
What?
How do you know that?
What the hell are you talking
Have
about?
you not? You never
Wait,
heard
are you,
that?
you super fan?
You know 143?
I know what 143 is. It's a number.
143 from the show was like one word I, or one letter I, 4 letters love, 3 letters you, and it was like a code in the show 143. But Mr. Rogers also weighed 143 pounds supposedly for like 30 years of his life or something.
That's dedication, folks.
Don't
That's what he says.
Don't throw this
That's what he
Soviet
said.
conspiracy at me, Jimmy.
There was no one more anti-communist.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think. Andy doesn't grow or change as a person.
Okay.
Subjective, but I think we have a profile. I
143
think we know
pounds.
who he is. I don't think he's gonna do a good thing for a person, really. He might do a good thing for Maggie, but I don't think he's gonna be like a selfless person
If we see him do something nice for someone else,
that's not Maggie.
you don't get a point.
That's true.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay then.
That's how predictions work.
And part of me thinks he's only really
I
being
just
nice
wanna
about Maggie
set it up.
because he likes Maggie, and that's still beneficial for him. You know what I'm saying?
True. Okay, I see.
Number 2, he has a speaking role. I think he has a speaking role. Number 3, someone gets rejected underneath the mistletoe.
Oh, because it's a Christmas.
Because it's a Christmas special.
I already
There you go.
forgot it was Christmas.
Yep.
I was like, that's random.
No, it's July. It's a July episode. It was called 4th of July. They go to America. Speaking of America, number 4, I think there's an Obama reference. 2007,
Oh,
December
yeah.
2007, he has been elected, right?
Yeah.
Or it's the primary.
That's like a full year.
Full year. They're still running. You know, he's big news. Hey, maybe it's a throwaway point. Deal with it. And then number 5, Maggie and Andy are together.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay.
Which I feel like every one of us has that.
Interesting.
I'll go.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say he gets his own show, not even like a speaking.
I mean,
part.
if he has his like own
I think
show,
he gets his own. I think he tries to go for movies, and I think he ends up on TV with like his
like
own
that.
show.
if he has like his own show and like a talk show host or something like his or like a Seinfeld, that's not he has a speaking role. That's way above that. I won't even give myself a point for that.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
I also have though never gets on TV, but he makes a Christmas movie, like a Hallmark movie, and that's kind of what
and that's what we're doing.
this series finale is.
Like
I
that.
think there's a possibility he dies and his friends are mad, or maybe he fakes his own death and he's mad he doesn't get an in memoriam at
Oh,
like
God.
an award show. And then the last one, I don't think him and Maggie get together at all because I don't think they like each other. I think they're just good friends.
They got 12 more episodes to get nice.
Yep.
Okay. I like that. Okay, number 1. I'm circling back to Andy's a zombie.
Okay.
I'm holding out for that zombie life.
Well, he probably doesn't have a speaking role if he's a zombie. So
And I love those
Obama, baby.
I love those zombie Christmas movies. You know, they're my favorite.
yeah,
Oh, man, you could be so lucky.
What's funny is that prediction could be true in the show, but you never know because it's each individual show. So
Right.
There could be a zombie episode in there.
Yeah, do you think each individual episode is going to be a different movie with a different celebrity?
I think it's on a different set. I think it's on a different set, yeah.
That's cool.
Unless there's
It's
a
the life of an
two-parter.
extra, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, you'd think that, movies shoot for a long time.
Yeah.
You could end up. Okay. Number 2.
I love when you just debunk someone's prediction right away. Be like, nope, that's wrong. Here's why.
Okay, I'm gonna break it to you right now. They couldn't afford Ben Stiller for the whole first season.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so who do you think the B in like episode 2, who do you think the B actor
Spike
or
Jonze.
actress is?
I don't know. Can't you look it up? It's literally the title of the next episode.
We'll look it up.
We'll look it
All
up.
right. Number 2 is that Maggie bangs the celebrity in this episode. I think she works up the ladder, or it's just someone real sleazy, like
That says there's something.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh.
I don't know why that. I just thought of that because you said Spike. Okay, number 3. Andy tries to get with Maggie, like officially. In this episode, in the pilot, he wasn't really trying. He was just actively trying to get her to not be with other people, and succeeded.
I feel like you read into that way more than I did.
Yeah, I don't know if he was.
How did you not? Were you not?
I don't
watching
think
the
he was
same-
trying to have her not get with people.
Oh my gosh!
I just
Every
think he was
time
just-
she said she liked someone, he said, "Oh, not him."
He made fun.
Every
I think he just gets into her
time.
psyche and
He
be
made
like,
fun of everybody.
Yeah,
Literally
yeah,
everybody.
exactly.
I think he just plays mind games.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And it
think
works.
He just likes fucking
You were
with
the
people.
one who said they are dating.
Yeah,
he
but
did
not
make the
because of
prediction.
what I saw this episode. Just
Yeah,
because
well then
I've
you haven't watched very much TV. Apparently.
I've watched 96 episodes of TV at least.
Yeah, double that, right? Okay,
Plus 6.
plus the 2
Plus
parters.
6.
Okay, number 4. Andy finally gets to say a line, or maybe he's said a line, but he gets to say a line in this. And then I also too have a 5th. I think Andy in this episode is moving on from the movie life.
Oh,
Like
like
he
he's going to
quits?
become like a golf pro or
I
something?
think he's possibly going into mid-management. Basically a reverse of The Office, where he leaves and is trying to make it big.
He gives up his
In a
dream.
mid-sized
gives
paper
up-
company.
Yeah. I feel like basically that's what happens. It's the reverse.
He changes his name to David Brent.
Very possibly. But I'm not. That's not what I wrote. I just wrote Andy's moving on.
So
Has
no,
like the Hulk theme song. Just
The Eric Bana one.
yeah.
so none of
Gross.
us guessed.
How dare you, sir?
None of us guessed what the celebrity would be in this last episode.
Ooh, okay.
Santa. Boom. Roasted. No.
Serious guesses. If you get it right, you get a point.
And it's 2007.
Yep, December 2007. Well, that's when it aired.
Drew Carey.
The only one I'd say.
No, who's the old Price is Right guy? Bob
Barker.
Barb Bucker.
Bob, yeah, that one.
Okay, I would say the only person I know it's not, or it still might be, is that Kate Winslet was in episode 3.
Oh,
I feel like that'd be a
how
good
do you
one.
know you spotted that
Yeah,
out of the corner of your
it's on the
nasty,
Wikipedia on the
dirty
computer
eyeballs?
right next to me.
I feel like it will be like, I could see it being a collection of
Ooh.
returning ones. Like, I don't think, like Ben Stiller, I don't
Wahlberg.
think will be in another episode, but I could see him maybe coming in,
Just for
maybe like a small cameo.
just for a
I mean,
tip
it's
of the
80
cap.
it's 80 minutes long.
I'm gonna cut you off. William Shatner.
No.
Can't afford him, probably.
Can't afford him. Yeah.
Can't afford him.
Steve Carell.
Ooh.
That's right when the Office Office started in like 04?
I don't know.
05?
So we got Steve Carell,
It's sort of
William Shatner, and whoever the hell Jimmy said.
I don't know.
Mark
Tony
Wahlberg.
Danza.
Just keep popping up people.
2005.
Wait, you
Will
did,
Ferrell.
You did. You need to final answer us because you
Will
said
Ferrell.
Okay, final answer.
William Shatner Farrell.
Clever.
Thank you.
You heard it here first. Will Ferrell's middle name.
Definitely Shatner.
All right. Well, we're gonna go watch this Christmas special,
Yeah, let's do
final episode of Extras, and we'll be back after that.
The
See
U.S.
ya.
Office aired
See you
in
then.
05.
Stop it. We're
to
watching
13.
Gonna go watch a show.
13?
If I can hit stop, we're watching a show.
We'll never watch it.
Yeah, we'll see after that. And we're back
And we're back
from the Christmas special, aka the last episode of The Extras.
The Lord's Birth.
Yeah,
starring Ricky Gervais.
the celebrity guest star was Jesus.
He was
We
one of
called
the
it.
wise men with Ben Stiller.
He was one of the
And
Magi.
Clive Owen.
Another
So the
Magi.
three wise men.
That would, I
Miles
feel like that'd
Akers.
be a better episode.
You didn't like this one? Jeff?
I definitely feel like maybe if we watched the whole series, maybe it would mean more.
Sure.
But on its own, it was just really slow. Like, I don't know if it needed to be 80 minutes. Oh,
Let it out.
I just...
Yeah.
Let's hear about it.
Tell me how Felicity was for you. Come on.
My personal opinion, I think there was some really good, like, laughing moments a part of it. But I know, so the other two series that, like, the more recent one he's been in, there are pretty, like, more, like, heartfelt than I thought they'd be.
Okay.
And I felt
Some
like...
Frasier moments?
Yeah, and I felt like this one, I think, was trying, but again, not watching the rest of, like... So... If you want to get to the synopsis, or I can just jump in, yeah, and then I'll.
Oh,
go
sure,
into it
sure.
more.
I'll read the blow by blow here. That's what she said. Office, UK. Andy is unhappy with the fame he has achieved. When a new agent approaches him, Andy fires Darren and quits when the whistle blows. Meanwhile, Maggie has hit
Which
rock
is the
bottom.
show name. There's not like a whistleblower.
That's the name of the sitcom that Andy has. Meanwhile, Maggie has hit rock bottom, having given up working as an extra and living in a tiny, dismal flat, which is apartment for you U.S.
Yanks.
Andy, however, is too self-obsessed to notice Maggie's plight. So this other that was from the TV archaeologist, but this other one says Andy Millman is no longer an extra and has his own sitcom, but still Andy is not happy with everything. Whilst his long-term friend Maggie struggles to earn a living from any job she can get, Andy still wants to be famous amongst the A-list stars, even if it means cutting back on a few things, including his close friends, which is mostly Maggie, and then his manager that he fires.
His Flight of the Conchords-esque manager.
Yeah, I recognized that guy, and I went through his IMDb, and I realized it was because he's in a bunch of the Drunk History episodes as, like, Abe Lincoln and people.
I feel like he's a very well-known comedian.
He's
but
been in a
always
lot
like
of
the small
things.
side role.
Yeah, he's been in a little thing in a lot of shows.
But what I was getting at before is, I feel like if I would have watched the rest of the series and maybe like season 2, because I don't know if we talked about it earlier, but like Ricky Gervais's thing is like doing 2 seasons and then like a special.
Right.
Like he doesn't do more than 3 seasons of a show. Like, and his character in this talks like he quit his show after 3 seasons because he wants to do other things. And I don't know, so if that was like that's his personal belief. I don't know, but it was just one of those where I'm like, I feel like it's trying to be heartfelt, but since we didn't see this progression, because like first episode literally like bottom of the rung, like being fired as an extra, and then this one jumped right into 3 years on a sitcom. So I don't know if like the series finale
like his
or season,
this
like
was
season
like
finale of 2,
his
he gets
Cosby
it.
show. Is it too soon to mention that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's subjectively.
It's always too soon.
Everybody
Too soon.
Loves Raymond.
That's fine. I'll accept that one.
I think that was produced by Harvey Weinstein. So keep going, Jim.
Oh God.
Seinfeld. It's his Seinfeld.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
That's clean, right?
I think so.
Larry David hasn't
that's
like
clean for now.
punched 8 little girls or something like that.
Still
yet.
getting coffee with those in those cars.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I was expecting a little bit more humor because
This
the
was
first one
dark.
Yeah.
It was a good. I guess I didn't have a stopwatch, but there was a good long part where this is just real. Like, is this Ricky Gervais just talking about being a celebrity to us, like, through this character? And it's kind of uncomfortable, but, like, this was probably the realest shit we've seen on this podcast so far. I was like, dang.
That's what I do. I bring the heat,
Yeah.
make you think a little bit.
Fire it down
Step
the old
by step.
pipeline.
Yeah, let's go
Day
back to
by
this. Let's go
day.
back to the sitcom.
Bring in the heat.
Just step by step, Boy Meets World, all the heavy hitters, extras.
Do I got a show for you? So,
Yeah. Besides that,
I didn't mind it.
some celebrities,
I mean, I didn't mind it, but
they brought it back. They brought the dark funny back once in a while.
I think
Yeah.
they took way too long for him to
Took
like
a long
get
time to
over
there.
it.
Sure.
And I'm not even convinced, like, maybe just based on how like stubborn and like pig-headed his character was, especially like in episode 1 he was like, I'm funny and I'm just like rude and kind of self-centered, but like I still like love my friend and will stick up for my friend. And then in this episode he started like with that minus 100,
Totally
but then
devolved.
he went to like, I just hate everything. I can't be happy, and I want all of the cakes. I want to eat all of them too. And oh wait, I'm gonna give it all up and go. And I'm like, I don't believe that. I like literally don't believe the
I
ending.
mean, he
of the
even
show.
said that though. Like in the episode,
Interesting.
he talked like he said to his agent, like, because the agent goes, "Do you want to be rich and famous, or do you want to like be an artist and do what you do?" And he goes, "I want to be rich and famous."
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then he ends up on like
But,
Celebrity Big
and then
Brother.
he does it, and then he doesn't want to do
Right.
it. You know.
Yeah.
And it takes that was his like final sellout. I feel like literally this was just The Office. Like he went to go like chase
I'm
his
not
dream.
following you.
He went to go like chase his dream, and he just like everywhere he goes, it's just like it's kind of shittier and shittier. He's just doing crappy acts like in front of worse and worse people, and then at the end, it's just like just kind of a little turnaround.
Yeah, I don't know. But like I think you hit it on the head. It's like I think this was in overall supposed to be like a retrospect of what it means to be a celebrity. So I think maybe it's one of those cautionary tales of all those people out there trying to. When it's all,
Yeah.
but
Well, I
part
mean,
of
it
me,
even
again, where
works.
I'm like,
It even works both ways because it's like you got one person that made it fully and hates it, and then you have one person that literally can't catch a break and is like dying.
but it's always funny when it's like, don't tell me that I shouldn't want to be an actor because it's not what it all cracks up to be. I'm like, he could still get into the restaurants and he has a nice apartment and plenty of money and I don't know, seems okay to me.
I feel like I feel like real Ricky Gervais would even be like, "No, it's pretty great." Like, you know, like, real Ricky Gervais,
Pretty fun.
You're like, "No, this is dope."
So yeah, I don't know if I'm fully sold yet on this episode. Again, like there were some really good moments of just his dry, and I almost want to say like British humor. I feel like a lot of British TV shows have that dry 1-2 off like side comments that if you think about like are actually really funny. And I don't know, maybe it's just how they say words, like just their different.
Some of those
phrases.
are just funny.
They're
Colors, am I right?
Yeah. Are you having a laugh? Oh, that's his catchphrase, by the way. And he hates that he has a catchphrase.
I listened to a different podcast that has a British guy on it, and he just says that, and I'm like, that's just a thing British people say.
Yeah, how's that a catchphrase in England when that's what they say literally every day? But
Ooh.
I do like they kept like alluding to like, oh, do you want to be in American Hollywood? And they were like, yeah, right. Like they're like, you're number one in England, not America. It's like, oh wow, they like. I mean, I assume like Hollywood's obviously the gold standard,
yeah.
probably, but it's still just funny to hear like someone like that.
Well, it's also funny. So, in like the first 5 minutes of the show, both George Michael and Clive Owen make an appearance. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, it's gonna be all British
Cameos, bunch
celebs
of
like
cameos.
the whole time.
Right.
Then nothing for a good 40 minutes, and then the actor that plays Doctor Who.
David Tennant.
And Gordon Ramsay show up like 5 minutes apart.
Yeah.
and then that's
Right
about
at
it
the
as well.
end.
So
Yeah. Gotta
I mean,
cap it
yeah,
off.
some good, but I was
Yeah.
expecting like a huge because I think wasn't that one of the anyways, but
Yeah, because then I guess then the whole like middle section where he's in the house, the whole deal is with Big Brother is that all these people are like D-list wannabe celebrities who basically just there was like kind of a Paris Hilton kind of wannabe. She went off for like 20 minutes about how all the people that she had sex with. And then people who were famous because family members and stuff were murdered, which is really weird.
and they were gonna release a single about it.
Yeah, she's got a single coming out.
So just FYI, throughout the series, some of the episode titles are called Samuel L. Jackson,
Nice.
Patrick Stewart.
Excellent. I just read
Picard.
that Patrick Stewart came in because Jude Law was like booked and then like canceled at the last minute, and they were scrambling for people.
Sir Ian McKellen.
Yeah. See, so I feel like
Yeah,
Like
the rest of the series, I feel like would be more like that
Star-studded.
first episode where just huge celebs, probably a lot, and I think everyone's probably a half hour or like the 25.
Yeah,
Where they say it's a half-hour show, but with commercial, whatever. So yeah, I feel like this just seemed really out of place. But again, I don't know if it would make more sense watching the rest of the series.
I feel like if the rest
Yeah,
of the series is
sure.
like the first episode, then I would really, really enjoy this.
Yep.
I bet.
And maybe it just works really well in a 30-minute bit. And this episode is like a Christmas special series ender.
Which the only thing about Christmas
It
is just
might
the
have-
time frame.
yeah, it might have been
Like,
around-
there was literally-
right. There
Yeah,
was
nothing about
else.
Christmas.
They edited in some Christmas music.
I think you could take this entire episode and make it 45 minutes. And now
For
it's
sure.
great.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep. I think they could have cut down.
But
'Cause
he had to make that transformation, you guys.
Oh my gosh. I could,
Yeah, he could have faster.
yeah, because it's. I mean, it starts out with him like on Celebrity Big Brother, and then goes 6 months prior.
And then
Yeah,
an
right.
And I feel like
hour
it could have
and
cut.
20
It
minutes
could have
later.
cut
Mr.
months
Bean
2 through
on
6.
some sitcom.
I wish
Did anyone
Mr.
else
Bean was
get
in
that?
this.
He was just making noises like Mr. Bean.
Yeah,
for a
also,
while.
I want to watch a full episode of this Mr. Magoo show he's in.
I would watch it.
How the whistle blows. Yeah. Yeah.
You haven't laughed.
It literally was a show where I think all 5 characters had one catchphrase.
And they said them one after the other in a row every
And
time.
it was like, I don't get it. You know, like a pretty.
Oh, he gets it.
Yeah. You having a life?
I did catch at one point one of the guys in the show during the show and the very last episode, which seemed like no one knew it was the last episode except when Ricky Gervais said it was.
Yeah.
He's like, we're glad you're gay now. And he was like, yes. And I'm like, wow, in a sitcom, like that wouldn't happen in a regular sitcom.
Yeah.
They
Like
just
they
dropped
they
that.
wouldn't go like 3 seasons and then all of a sudden have a character be gay.
Right.
That'd be too much for the general populace in America to probably be able to take.
Oh, Oscar from The Office.
That was the beginning of the second season of The Office.
I thought it was beginning of season 3.
It might have been
No idea.
episode 1 of season 3.
Yeah.
If it was season 3, it was literally episode 1.
Yeah.
The episode title was Gay Witch Hunt.
Gay
I
Witch
know
Hunt.
that.
Wow.
That was the name of
This
this.
is why we can never do The Office on this show because everyone knows it way too well.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, listeners.
I know the episode title.
Yeah. The listeners are finally The Office. No.
We're gonna have to literally have 3 brand new hosts who've never seen The Office somehow to come in and watch it because we've already seen the UK Office and the pilot is exactly the same almost.
Yep.
A couple of different jokes that wouldn't have landed in the US.
But it's funnier because it's American
Different
made.
phrases. I don't know. I think they're just the same.
That was
It's like pilot's
it's
almost
almost-
shot for
I've
shot.
gone back and watched, and it's like this is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Only it's awkward because you forget how freaking awkward Steve Carell is in the first season of The Office because he's trying to be Ricky Gervais and it doesn't quite work, but it works for Ricky Gervais because he's freaking Ricky Gervais.
But that's another podcast.
That's a whole nother season of First and Last. Stay tuned for season 5 where we just talk about the different
The Office.
offices.
oh, however many episodes of The Office divided by 25. That's how many episodes we do in one episode
There you go.
of First and Last.
Okay.
But
I'd listen to it
I wouldn't. I'm not.
in like 1.5 speed.
I'm not doing it.
Okay, so there were a couple of things that I lolled at for all you millennial listeners out there. One.
Everyone in this room is a millennial.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You mean?
Are we? When is the cutoff?
We're millennials.
That's a whole different. That's a different.
Yeah, don't ask.
We're on the old side.
Okay, I don't even remember how this came about, but the manager, and then ex-manager, and like his assistant or whatever he was. Those two were hilarious.
Oh, when he like couldn't get his
They
coat
had
off?
some great. I feel like if they're in like the second season, that could be some really funny stuff because they had all these little bits that had
like-
nothing to do with anything.
I feel like he's in like majority
But
of the
other Ricky
series.
Gervais stuff. Oh,
Like the
that's
majority of the series, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I will say, like I said, was during the episode. The actress that plays Maggie, I know was in his most recent series.
Oh.
And then if you remember when Maggie like was trying to get lunch as an extra, when all the actors came and like literally was like paging through the sandwiches.
Yeah, that was so gross.
The lady that was talking to her is in Derek.
Oh.
And then like the paparazzi that wouldn't take his picture is also in Derek. So it's like it's crazy because I think he keeps like. So I don't know if they're like really good friends or
Sure.
maybe they were extras at some point together.
In Adam Sandler posse.
Yeah, but probably a lot funnier.
God, I hope so. Those Netflix movies they keep just churning out. Rough.
I just don't watch them.
But
I just don't watch those and just go, he made Happy Gilmore. Everything's fine.
Take a deep
We're
breath.
fine. Everything's fine. I do kind of want to watch that one with him and Jennifer Aniston, though.
No,
Have you
you
seen
don't
that?
want
No,
to
you
do
don't.
it.
It's
don't.
pretty
You
bad.
There's no way it's going to be good.
It can't be good, but I mean,
You
That's
That'd
the
be
thing about Adam
entertaining.
Sandler is you have to.
have to.
Maybe there's a diamond in the rough, you know?
yeah.
A deep,
A deep
deep rough.
The deep rough. Okay, so they had a little bit and where they started talking about naming the things that the British are famous for, and it was sheep shagging, inbreeding, and then slavery, because they were talking about what kids would walk by the window and yell at him.
I thought they were only talking about Bristol. Like,
Oh, maybe just
in
specifically
particular.
Yeah, I
Bristol?
think it was a
I
specific
think they were
city.
just talking about like this is what.
Oh, I think he said
Bristol's-
British, but Bristol. Yeah, that makes sense. Yikes! But that really made me laugh. And then they hugged it out, and then a kid walked by and yelled
Queer.
obscenities at
He
them.
said queer. He said queer.
We don't say that word here.
Yeah, no, they
and
say it in England.
then-
That's why. Oh, sorry, queer.
Yeah.
Okay, the other part that
Yeah.
was really great for me was that
Governor.
Andy at the beginning went to go do a movie interview. That's not what you call it, like a call
Audition
audition
in
There
the
you go.
business.
Sure.
we call it audition.
in the biz
Should have
or whatever.
Clearly not in.
So
Yeah.
he put on like a bodice. Is that what you call it? Like
Corset?
a girdle,
Bodhi-
corset.
Bodhice.
like a
You know what I'm saying.
Manx,
He put on a
man
leather
Spanx.
belt thing
It's
to
Italian.
suck the gut in.
Bodice.
But he shay.
Steve Bodice.
There's like a
Keep going.
tilde.
French.
Okay. And then like he went to say the line. They had like the camcorder rolling during the audition, and then the thing popped, and that was just really perfect.
What's funny is he almost looked fatter when that burst than he did like throughout the entire
for
show.
sure.
So it's like it's
He
even
like puffed it
Yeah.
out for sure. It was so good.
Yeah.
And then he just turned around, did not finish, and just walked right out of
I think
the office.
he popped the girdle and I went, why did I not see that coming? Like,
yeah, right.
It
yeah.
immediately made me mad at myself. I was like, obviously.
But see if the rest of the like episode had stuff like that
Yeah.
mixed
Sure.
in a little bit with
Yeah.
whatever they were trying to say, it would be a little better for me.
Right.
But I feel like the lulls were
Lulz-
few and far
the
between.
lulz died.
The
Yeah.
lulz, like any sort of maybe humor that was happening in the entire Big Brother sequence was just how outrageous all the other celebrities were.
Yeah.
But they weren't really jokes. They were just like you being, oh God, at these people.
But it still wasn't as funny because like Ricky Gervais wasn't like participating in it, like
Yeah.
in a weird way. And like, cause he was the focus and we we've been trained to know that he should be the one we're focusing on because the story's about him. And then when the ridiculousness was happening around him, I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous, but he's not having a laugh. So neither am I.
Clive Owen did have a funny bit,
but that was at the beginning,
mixed in there. No, the one where Maggie like went on to
where she quit, like
to be she went on the movie to be like an extra, and she was supposed to be a prostitute, and he was like, I would not pay money for that.
He's like, I'm Clive fucking Owen.
Yeah, I was in Children of Men. When did that come out? That's a fantastic movie.
That movie's so good.
We talking about that movie?
No,
we don't have time.
But
that's season 6.
I wrote down Adam Scott. Did that have anything to do with actually anything?
No,
I was talking about a possible next show.
We were just literally talking about a different show.
See,
that's how slow this episode was. We literally were thinking, hey, maybe next time we should do Party Down.
We should do Ghosted.
Spoiler alert.
Did you watch Ghosted? No, you didn't, because no one did. It got canceled after like 13 episodes. It was Craig Robinson.
Who?
Yeah, Daryl from The Office.
Daryl from The Office. And Adam Scott.
I know you know that. From Parks and Rec.
Yeah, they were the main characters in a show, and like nobody watched it. I didn't even watch it. It was probably the funniest thing ever.
You said you never watched it. How do you
I'm
know?
upset that it got canceled like immediately. I don't even think it finished a season.
Jimmy's mad that a show he didn't watch got canceled.
I watched the first episode.
What if they were one
I was
member?
DVRing it. That probably counts, right? To the Nielsen's.
DVR? What year is this?
We have on demand.
Jativo
through our landlords.
Did you pop a blank?
Whatever you
want
to
record
say.
it on your VHS player?
Did you pop a blank tape in that VHS?
Okay, but if I did that, Nielsen's probably saw it up at the top that it was being watched, right?
No.
You know the
No.
Nielsen's?
No.
Anyway,
that's where Adam Scott came from.
You killed Adam Scott's career, Jimmy.
This episode was so long and just blah, that we were literally, you wrote down an actor for a different show.
I couldn't
Hey,
remember how we got there.
let's get to predictions.
All right.
Predictions.
I think we've done enough.
Predictions.
I'm a dick. I'm predicted to.
That's a second Sybil Plan reference. Or is it the same song?
Yeah, I just keep singing that.
That's weird. Number 1, Andy doesn't change / grow as a person.
He actually got worse as a person.
God,
He shrunk as a person.
Negative points. Negative points.
That's not how that works.
Let's go.
I mean, I guess we can make the argument that he grew exponentially right at the end.
When his girdle broke.
No.
At the end. Yes, it ended with a very feel good. He found the error of his ways. For the listeners wondering how it ended.
I'll take a 0 there, but I don't believe if there's one or two more episodes in the future, I don't believe he changed.
Yeah.
But he did at the end of the story. So
Yeah.
he taking a point here though because he has a speaking role.
Oh yeah, own TV show. Even has a catchphrase, not just a speaking role.
Yeah, he at one point had Britain's #1 catchphrase.
Dropped to 3.
Someone gets rejected under the mistletoe.
11-year-olds.
No
mistletoe.
They did. This was basically not a Christmas episode, so it doesn't matter. There's an Obama reference. I got my years mixed up, so moving along.
I have no idea when Obama was president.
I don't know how presidencies work in this country I live in, and that is why Trump is our president. Maggie and Andy are together. They are not. They are just friends.
Just friends. And guess who predicted that? Me. Here's my predictions.
Pete the cat?
Oh, I'm gonna go with
Peter. Come back and tell us your predictions.
Points you get?
I'm going with 1.
Got 1.
All right.
My first prediction gets his own show. That's 2 points.
Wait, what?
Why is that 2 points?
Because
it's 1 point.
If you're right, that's 1 point.
Because I win, right? Adam Sandler. All right.
That's Big Daddy. I've seen that movie more than I've seen any movie in my life.
Wow, impressive.
Him and Maggie are not dating.
Damn. 2 for 2.
Never gets on TV, but makes a Christmas movie. That's a big.
He's
no.
very, very.
I should have known I was going to get 1 wrong because I literally
contradicted. -2 points. Because I win.
The other one was dies on a scene and doesn't get his in memoriam.
Nope.
No,
but
he killed himself.
killed career-wise.
Yeah.
So 2?
Solid 2.
That's a solid 2.
Solid deuce. I dropped a solid deuce.
Yes, you did.
You always do.
Gonna drop a deuce
I
on
right?
everyone.
Okay, number 1, Andy's a zombie. He was not a zombie.
Stop trying to make zombies happen, Jimmy.
Gosh, I wanted it so bad. You know he's a zombie in this show at some point.
If you watch all
I feel like
that's
there
like
could
the
be.
lowest.
I feel like there could be a zombie extra scene in there somewhere.
And there is.
Maybe the Kate Winslet episode.
I'll let you know when I watch the rest of this
do
series.
you think the Patrick Stewart episode's a space episode?
like for sure like a
Like
Star
a
Trek
Star Trek
rip?
ripoff?
I don't know. Maybe.
Wouldn't that
I
just
feel
be
like
Doctor
with
Who?
Ricky Gervais's humor, there's a lot of like
Heyo.
gay humor.
Humor. Okay, number 2, Maddie bangs the celeb, which would have been Clive Owen, which they were talking about sex a lot in the scene.
That's not how sex works.
In a negative
if
light,
you talk about
though.
it a bunch, you didn't have
Definitely
it.
in a negative.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Has Sex a Lot.
Number 3, Andy tries to
What can I say? Talk about it a lot.
Andy tries to get with Maggie. Didn't happen. Remain friends.
Yep.
Andy gets to say a line. I'm gonna take several points for that.
1 point for every
Okay,
line.
one point for each line he said. And then Andy is moving on, which for sure,
Oh,
seemingly.
all right. Hi, Pete.
But we don't know. They just drive off into the sunset. We don't know if he's moving on or
He
if he
said,
just
"Bring
was
me
done
to
with
somewhere where
Celebrity Big
no
Brother."
one knows me."
So cheers. Oh, that's where everyone knows your name.
That's where everyone knows you. That's
So,
the opposite,
the
of cheers.
opposite of cheers.
Bring me to Portland.
All right.
Fraser.
Gotcha.
He leaves Boston.
It's true.
Goes to. No, that's Seattle.
Technically, the states.
It
wouldn't
was like,
know.
you didn't say the right city,
Literally, the Fraser like
Wherever.
design has the Space Needle in it.
Yeah, it does.
which is in Portland.
It's got
right?
the
So-
fish
It's in
market.
Portland?
So the
There's a
Seattle
fish.
listeners are just turning the podcast.
Could
off
you
right now.
not, Jimmy? We need
The
these
outline
We
people.
need
of
the
the-
Seattle market.
the
That was one
outline
thing that
has
was keeping
the-
us.
The one thing we
large
had was the
homeless.
Seattle market.
That was our market.
That was our market.
Wow, okay,
Seattle
I'm gonna-
loved us up until right then.
That'd be really funny,
I'm
actually,
gonna
if you're
take
like,
2
oh my
for
god,
that.
actually, I looked
Holy
into
shit!
it.
This is very
We get like
dramatic.
20,000 hits in the greater Seattle
This
area.
is a very dramatic drop after Jimmy badmouthed
We
Sa-
played
Seattle.
Pearl Jam one
I
time.
did not.
Also, Portland's just mad at us for calling them Seattle.
Well,
yeah, both
So now
markets.
we lost them both.
We'll play Death Cab at the end, and they'll all be happy.
Oh, there you go.
God damn it, you're not helping.
That's also Portland, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's Portland.
it's not Seattle.
It's not Seattle.
You're thinking
it's
of
Portland.
Nirvana, Pearl Jam.
Seattle was
Hootie and the
Nirvana,
Blowfish.
but Dave Grohl was like from like the East Coast.
Creed.
We don't want those listeners. We don't
Right?
want- we don't want the Creed
I'm just
fans.
saying
Is
bands.
he from
I
like
don't know.
Jersey?
I don't know.
How many points did
It
you
just
get,
seems like
Jimmy?
Yeah,
I took 2 for that.
Okay.
He's moving on.
dropped a deuce.
He said a line. I dropped
You guys all took a number
took
2,
a
and I
2
took a number
together.
1.
Took a number 2.
Good
one
job.
on our 2s.
Hey, if everybody out there listening would like to comment on this horrible episode we just recorded,
Best one yet.
describe to us in detail
5 stars.
their love for us, their hate for us. Tell us if you want Jeff back. I almost forgot his name.
That's okay. Your listeners will too.
I've only known you for over 10 years.
Hey, you know what 2 deuces and 1 is?
5. It's
That's
number
5
5
stars.
5 stars.
Welcome to 5 Star Land. And you can,
Subscribe above.
once again, I'm not all about those 5 stars. I'm about as many stars as you can give, listeners.
I want to hear in the comments your life story and what this means to you.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever.
Tell us what TV is meant to you.
Please make it 80 minutes long.
I'm not
And I
about
would
the
love to sit down and watch it.
Likert scale, like 1 to 5. How excited does this podcast make you?
How aroused.
Sexually.
I was gonna say.
I'm more about the open-ended questions.
Are you into an open relationship with this podcast?
If we're taking a survey, I want open-ended. I'm in it for gasps.
I will say how bad this episode was. I think I still want to go through and watch the series.
I do too. I want
Because the rest of the series
I
is
think the
probably
rest
great.
of the series is going to be like episode 1 and be really
Yeah.
funny, and then maybe at the end of season 2,
Episode
that's when he
1
gets
was
like his
killed.
break.
I want to watch the rest of the series, get to the last episode of season 2, the last 30-minute episode, and go, Oh, that last
Yeah.
episode is dope.
That makes more sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
If we've moved on to the part now where we talk about if we're watching the show or not.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
For sure, I think this pilot was one of the better pilots we've seen on this podcast as far as making you want to watch the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Making me want to watch the rest of the show.
I love Ricky Gervais. I just think that ending was 45 minutes too long.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the pilot,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like 100 from start to finish, was great.
I definitely will watch the show. Hopefully to a point where I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense now at the end, and he did grow as a person.
Jeff, you know the rule. You have to finish the
that's
show
right. Before I can
you
come back.
come back on.
Oh man, I'll see you in another
Still
2
working on
years.
step by step.
I will say, if you're not a fan of any of Ricky Gervais's stuff or
You're not gonna
dry
like
humor, you probably will not
Or
like
Ben
this.
Stiller, for that matter.
Well, that's
If you
just-
hate Ben Stiller
that's just-
and the one episode you could skip.
I feel like Ben Stiller is some people can't stand his like in his own face, like tear himself down humor.
Well, I think a lot of people hate
It's uncomfortable.
uncomfortable, and I
Yeah.
think like my dad wasn't a fan of Meet the Fockers because of how uncomfortable
Yeah.
it made
When I
me feel.
when I first saw that movie, I was like, nope.
If you finish the first episode of this TV show, and you don't want to watch Heavyweights starring Ben Stiller, then either you're a monster
You're a heartless monster.
or you have never heard of that movie before because it's very,
Which is possible.
very like
Improbable.
low key
I
Ben
just
Stiller
love
movie.
that like Heavyweights would not happen today. Can we talk about that? No, we have too much time.
We are running long. We are running pretty long. But if you guys want us to talk more in depth about Heavyweights, you can hit us up
Like
at
and
FNL Podcast.
Check out our Heavyweights podcast at
FNLpodcast@gmail.com or on the Twitters at FNL, or as Joe likes to call it, Fandle.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, hit us up on those. Rate us some stars. Just pick 1 through 5 and write something like, yo, bring Jeff back.
Don't pick one though. That's not and leave constructive criticism if you do.
Well, I mean,
Like we're not old enough to watch.
1 star is better than 0 stars.
It's got a point.
That's true. But you can't possibly rate.
But if you
You
touch
can't rate 0,
But if
otherwise you haven't actually entered the
That's what I'm saying. That's
rating
what I'm saying.
scenario.
any news, Jimmy, any news is good news. But we will see you next week on another episode of First and Last. Jeff, thank you for joining us.
Of course. Thanks
We
for having me
appreciate
back.
you. And I'm glad that you tied up Joe and put him in a basement for the night so you could come on.
Yep. So I know our good hiding spot, so I think I'll be back next week.
Awesome. Next time you want to overpower him, you're invited.
Joe's gonna listen to steps and goes, "Wait, what the hell?"
Oh shit. What? But until then, you guys, listeners, have a good week and we'll see you next week. Bye. You can say goodbye too, Jeff.
Oh, bye.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't say that.
No, you don't. You don't
Bye.
say goodbye.
I don't know why Joe and I never say that.
Because you're dicks.
And we're back. No, I'm just kidding. That's not-
You don't do this. You don't decide.
But you're correct.
It's like the tail just hitting the mic.
Is Pete the cat just gonna
Yeah.
sit in on this
Yeah,
one?
I'm going to get him off.
Who's the real guest host?